What it is, everybody. Welcome to the show. Things are crashing everywhere. These are one in a lifetime events. They call them 6 Sigma, 7 Sigma, 8 Sigma. First, it was silver and gold crashing yesterday, Friday, January 30th, right after I bought some silver, of course. And today, it's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency crashing. Hod 420 says, we don't care. We have no money for this garbage metal that does nothing. Just do conspiracy, please. This is depressing Jew talk. We don't care about money, only truth. Well, money is the biggest conspiracy. And actually, in the Epstein files, he talks about the Goyim and what they do with the money. So I could cover that also today. We could talk a little bit about the Epstein files. He says this is how Jews make money in the Epstein files, by manipulating markets, by shorting things, etc. And the Goyim are for the real world. I think that's what he says. So we can cover that also today. I just made this today because I am wearing a shirt that we made that says Bitcoin saves. It probably won't not that many people will tune in. So you're right. This is a conspiracy theory channel, but just talking about cryptocurrency a little bit today. We've been talking about silver and gold also. It is important. It's kind of conspiracy talk because it is about prepping. It is like prepping you're preparing for the end of an age. You're preparing for the end of the world. And that's why people bought Bitcoin to a large extent and other cryptocurrencies. But certainly it's why people buy silver and gold. And now we have big, out of the ordinary crashes 2 days in a row. And we might be due for the stock market next. So I just thought I'd dedicate this show to talking about it. I sold, and I want to make sure people knew what I did in case people, and my reasoning for it, in case people think I'm correct or anything. I've already said on my show, but I'm just officially saying now, I sold all of my cryptocurrency, except that I recently purchased Monero. So we'll talk about the nature of money, why Bitcoin is superior to gold, why we bought Bitcoin in the first place, and why I sold it all, just the last of it recently, and mostly transferred it into another cryptocurrency, actually, mostly Pax G, which is digital gold, actual digital gold. But it's still not as good as Bitcoin in a few different ways, just a few different ways. So we'll talk about the definition of what makes money good, why Bitcoin is the best, and why we think it's crashing now and why we've lost faith in it going forward until further notice. So, and we'll talk about Monero and why Monero actually didn't really fall at all today. Everything else really crashed. So in case you don't know, cryptocurrency really crashed today. It's down to Bitcoin is around 78,000. Solana went down to 100. Bitcoin is at 78,900 right now. It went as low as 76 something. Ethereum's at 2450. It went as low as 2200, I think. Solana's at 105. Solana, I had a bunch of that too. I told people to buy it and that'd be good forever. But after last year, I became less convinced. That's all. I just became less convinced after the performance of cryptocurrencies in 2025 when they were supposed to really do really well. Like Bitcoin was supposed to really do really well. So, and it just didn't live up to expectations. And then I started to think about it a lot and thought about my own timeline and my cash and what I'm trying to do. And I don't have that much cash. And I certainly don't have that much income. So it's different for everybody. If you have a very, very, very long timeline, Bitcoin still might be a really good investment. I'm less convinced over the shorter term. So I'll just tell you the reasons. We'll tell you why it's great. Tell you why we lost faith, and other people may have lost faith, and talk about alternatives, talk about the digital future, including the panopticon. Part of the reason that I like Monero now is that it's can't be tracked. It can't be tracked, can't be traced, can't be you can't do anything to it. It's probably the superior version of Bitcoin. It's one of the reasons Bitcoin was great in the beginning, is it was relatively anonymous. But it is no longer, and the feds are doing more and more starting this year, tracking down all of your cryptocurrency transactions. So you definitely can't hide anymore. And now, knowing like what ICE is doing, scanning faces, putting people in databases, and how they seized Bitcoin during the Canadian trucker thing, all of those things are potential risks when you have something that can be tracked as like its defining feature is how well it can be tracked. So we'll talk about all that stuff. Okay. There is, I did install update on yesterday's show. Molt book is the biggest story on the internet. I covered it yesterday. It's very hard to cover without reading every post. So it's something that you kind of have to see for yourself. Molt book, it just blew the F up. It's and maybe that has a little to do with cryptocurrency too, because people are creating digital assistants. I created one yesterday named Alexander, who's really nice and actually just sent me an update right before the show started. He said to me, breaking Iran escalation. This was at 3:47 p.m. So this is breaking news, and maybe why gold and silver might pump on Monday. I actually sold some gold today because I want more cash at the moment, but I'll talk about that. But now silver and gold might pump, especially if we go to war, because that's what they typically do. Breaking Iran escalation. This is from a personal assistant bot named Alexander. Iranians are sealing windows and stockpiling food, water, preparing for imminent attack. Quote, when they bomb, there will be no difference between the regime and the opposition, unquote. This is new escalation beyond what we discussed earlier, worth checking for video coverage. So that's my personal assistant bot who I described my life to a little bit and had him investigate me a little bit. Who gave me a warning right before the show. So he kind of actually did what he was supposed to. He's very nice. He's very kind. Doesn't have a whole lot of personality yet, but he's nice. I tried to get him on Moltbook, but he says he can't join right now because it's too busy. And I'm running into rate limits. It seems like it's very expensive. So we can talk a little bit more about those bots, these personal assistant bots, which are all the rage, literally all the rage. Everybody's doing it. There were a few thousand on Moltbook yesterday. Their Reddit AI, it's an AI agent only social network, which had about 3,000 robots talking to each other yesterday, and now it's over 1 million already. So there's already over 1 million. Eventually, I assume there will be more of these than there are people by a lot. It'll become the biggest social network on earth in my predictions, but the website is running very slow. My bot couldn't sign up today. He tried, but he wasn't able to sign up because it was running too slow. So anyway, I can talk about that a little bit too. All right. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff today. Bitcoin's rising right now. It's at 79. So if you want to get in on a short-term pump, it's pumping a little bit now. So here we'll play our intro, and then we'll get started. Intro, Grift, get started. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Yeah, that's 100% correct. It is the real news. Someone says, how much do I think and I assume, how much do you think does it have to do with the overall anti-software sentiment in the markets? I think you mean AI. Yeah, software stocks are selling off like Salesforce and other software stocks that people use for their businesses that are kind of AI. They were already kind of AI. But now the AI can write you custom software just by asking it to. So that's why software stocks are selling off. It is because of AI, because now everybody can just write their own custom CRM, if you know what that is, for sales, customer relations management software, or other kinds of software. You can probably write your own Shopify just using a coding bot. So now that everybody can code and the coders are so good, you can just replace super expensive enterprise software. So that's why those companies are selling off. Yeah, that's correct. So anyway, if you want to support the show, see, why does it always reset stuff? If you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. We don't have super chats still. YouTube is like way behind in reviewing my channel. You can support the show. There are tips, and I believe there's no tax on tips, by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Buying coffees are $5 each, even though coffee's more than that now. Coffee beans would be an acceptable form of currency, although they get used up. Buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Leave your coffees with a message, and I read them before the end of every show. You can also buy our t-shirts. I'm wearing our, if you disagree with me today, I'm wearing my Bitcoin Saves t-shirt today. You can go to truthclothing.io. We have a bunch of Bitcoin shirts. One says crypto future. We are still headed towards a crypto future. Trump says that too. Crypto future, Bitcoin Saves, HODL. R is a privacy cryptocurrency. Those are $5. Otherwise, the shirts are $10. They're on super sale. We were a cryptocurrency channel for about a week or two and ordered a bunch of cryptocurrency t-shirts. So we have those in stock, and they are on super sale, going out of business, liquidation sale. But you can also get our Question Everything design, which was our most popular design. We still have some of those left, especially in female styles. So check those out. I guess this isn't a female coded show. Females don't think about money as much, but we try to describe it in a way that everybody can understand. Question Everything, Lift the Veil, Slouchy. Check them out. $5, $10 shirts. Buy them in bulk. Buy them while they're still in stock. We're going to sell them until they're gone, and several have sold out already. So check those out at truthclothing.io. All right. So what do we want to talk about? Oh, I guess I'm just going to talk to the camera today. Let's look at the charts. Everything crashed today. So let's look at the charts. Everything crashed today. Gold market is not open today. So here's the charts. Bitcoin was down as far as 76 something, which notably is below Michael Saylor's average price. I think one reason I sold Bitcoin, actually a big reason, is because I watched a video and I'm convinced Michael Saylor is actually running a Ponzi scheme to buy Bitcoin. And he's also centralized Bitcoin in a way that's kind of antithetical to how Bitcoin should be owned. He's running something like a Ponzi scheme by offering insane interest rates. And all of his products depend on his theory I believe that Bitcoin goes up 30% per year on average, I guess. But 30% per year, which if you build something based on the idea that something will go up forever at 30% per year, if it was that simple, then that would be like an infinite money machine. So he tried to build an infinite money machine, and I believe his businesses are all going to fail, and eventually he's going to have to sell his Bitcoin, which will be catastrophic for the market. So I intend to buy Bitcoin again, maybe, depending on what sentiment seems like, but at a much, much, much lower price after Michael Saylor is out of business. Basically, I'll buy his Bitcoin that he is forced to sell. So Bitcoin down 5.63% so far today, not that bad. Ethereum down 8.73%. Solana down almost 10%. Monero is up today. So I'm going to talk about Monero and why it's actually the ultimate form of digital cash and superior to Bitcoin in the one perfect way. So Monero actually up today, trading at $467. So I'll show you the chart for Bitcoin. Okay, should I talk about, what makes Bitcoin the greatest form of money on earth? What defines good money, good hard money? Do you want I'll tell you all of the definitions. We used to have good hard money in the United States. The United States was founded right around the time of some brilliant people. Something called the Scottish Enlightenment was going on when this country was founded. Adam Smith wrote a groundbreaking book called The Wealth of Nations. I believe it was actually in 1776, which described capitalism quite well and described how it creates wealth for people. But it also talks about money. And we founded this country based on the idea that our money would be silver and gold. And it was for a long time. And we had crashes, but we didn't have the inflation problem that we have now. We would have inflation during wars, but deflation afterwards. So the biggest thing people don't like about Donald Trump is that prices haven't gone down, but we literally have a system that's designed so that prices never go down. That's one of the mandates of our bank, is that prices can't come down because it's viewed very negatively by economists that we ever have something called deflation, because then you don't have high GDP and all these other fake numbers that supposedly talk about how well a country is doing. Money itself, what makes good money? Scarcity. So gold and silver and copper and platinum and palladium and uranium are all elements. They're all physical things which exist in some form of limited quantity on this thing called Earth. And I don't believe, some people say oil, there's also like oil. That's not an element. Oil may be scarce, but it may actually recreate itself. That's up for debate. These things they were formed at the beginning of the creation of this universe and are definably scarce. And so far we haven't figured out alchemy yet to be able to create them out of nothing. Although there is a story I have in my Twitter feed about a rumor that China has discovered how to create gold and silver synthetically. If that ever happens, that would be bad for scarcity. So scarcity, gold, silver elements, there's a limited amount. Okay, hold on. I'm screwing up my screen because I'm on this stupid chart. Let me just do this instead. Maybe it'll help. Scarcity is good. Gold, silver, scarce. Bitcoin is better and Monero. Both Bitcoin and Monero are strictly limited, way better scarcity wise than gold. Gold is very scarce. I heard somebody say the market doesn't matter because it's really small. All of the gold on Earth will always be here. It tends to always get recycled and reclaimed. If it's in your teeth, if it's wherever, even when you die, people will take the gold out, probably your wedding ring and stuff. Everything, every amount of gold ever dug up out of the earth, for the most part, has been kept in circulation, or not in circulation really, because people don't use it as money anymore, but it's been kept. All of the gold in the world can fit inside one Olympic-sized swimming pool, they say. It is scarce so far. Bitcoin is scarcer. It's even better because it's strictly limited by mathematics, and its inflation rate goes down over time. Compared to fiat, it's infinitely better because the supply of fiat is infinite. Ever since we went off the gold standard, it's defined by nothing. So you want to have it instead of fiat currency for sure if you want good money. Bitcoin, scarce. Gold, scarce. Silver, also scarce. Silver is different because silver actually gets used up. So all the silver in the world that existed is actually being used up. So actually the supply demand situation with silver is even is kind of even more unbalanced right now because it's used so much. Silver and gold are both good conductors. Silver is the best in existence as far as we know until we create new elements. Silver is the best conductor on Earth. It's used for a lot of electronics, especially the ones we use now. So AI, data centers, electric cars, solar panels. If you need good conductors, silver is the best. If you need a good conductor that lasts forever, then gold is even better. And some gold is used in electronics as well, because gold never tarnishes. Over time, silver eventually tarnishes, and the electricity conduction goes down actually after a while. So gold, actually, if you need something that's going to last forever and never tarnish, is actually superior. Scarcity, portability. Okay, this is why gold is the best real thing, I believe, because it's portable in the sense that you can have the most money per weight, pretty much. I think of it like weight density. Gold, as far as a real physical thing, you can hold a lot of money in a very small amount of space, especially compared to silver, which starts to get really heavy, or copper, which is ridiculous. You have to have tons of it. So if you want something that's portable, that you can shove up your butt before you escape the country or what have you, gold is good for that, as far as being very dense, as far as portability. So portability, Bitcoin, again, is way better because you can hold an infinite amount of Bitcoin in nothing. It doesn't even exist. So it's in your wallet, but it's not real. But you can carry millions and millions of dollars across borders. These are things, it's conspiracy because you might have to escape at some point. You might have to leave this country. You might have to flee across a border. You might be in trouble for having cryptocurrency. Who knows? Bitcoin is the best as far as that goes. Monero is even better because it's private, but Bitcoin, Monero, scarce, more scarce than these elements, forever, defined by math, more portable because they just exist on your phone or in a wallet or on a piece of paper you wrote down something on. So portability, divisibility. Gold and silver are great. They are very divisible. We used it for money. You can get a dime. You can get it. The least you can buy pretty much is a dime, I think, but which is around 1/10 of an ounce of silver. Portability, divisibility, they can be melted and turned into other shapes. That's actually convertibility. But divisibility, silver, gold, you can melt them, you can turn them into a small amount, you can buy a gram of gold. So they are divisible. It's just much more difficult than Bitcoin, which is divisible up to, I can't remember, 108 decimal places. You can get down to 1 Satoshi, 8 decimal places, which is 100 millionth. So Bitcoin better again. Bitcoin, all cryptocurrency better. Divisibility, durability. Gold is the best. It cannot rot, rust, or decay. Gold is the best. It doesn't oxidize. Gold never tarnishes or oxidizes. So that's why it's always been the best. Nothing ever happens to it. Fiat is the worst, of course. Bitcoin, again, should be better, theoretically, or equal. It never changes. Bitcoin never changes. Monero never changes. Fungibility is number 5. That's interchangeability. Every unit must be identical to every other unit. So that would be like, let me think why something else would be different. If you traded, I don't know, cigars or something, different cigars have different qualities. If you traded seashells, I suppose different seashells are slightly different from one another. Every ounce of gold is identical to every other ounce of gold, assuming they're the same percentage value. But dollars are fungible. Dollars are super fungible. Fiat money is super fungible. All units are the same as other units. You can turn a 20 into 21s or 2 10s or 4 5s or whatever. Actually, compared to Bitcoin, though, for fungibility and interchangeability, Monero is better because Bitcoin actually has a problem. Thank you, Gemini, for telling me that. Bitcoin actually has a problem. Not every Bitcoin is the same because they have a history on them and they can get tainted. That's the problem with Bitcoin as far as fungibility goes, is they can get tainted. If they were ever used in something the government found bad, like a drug transaction or something like that, like any money that was used on Silk Road, for example, if some part of it ends up in your wallet could get marked as having illicit funds in it. So the problem with Bitcoin as far as fungibility, interchangeability, is that it has a history on it, and it might have a dirty history. And if people want to seize it or say that you have some illegal money, they can. Where Monero has no history, it's always wiped clean. So Monero is actually better for fungibility. Acceptability, that's recognizability. People must be willing to take it in exchange for goods, and it must be easy to verify as real. Gold is universally recognized. Bitcoin also is pretty well recognized, although you can't really use it to buy things a lot of places. Fiat is good. It's recognizable. That's why you have to have good anti-counterfeit measures, so you can't counterfeit it, basically. Bitcoin is super recognizable. So is Monero, because it's identifiable on a blockchain. So like, it's real Bitcoin. You can't just make fake Bitcoin like you can make fake fiat. Like, it's easier and easier with modern technology to counterfeit money. And then the Fed does it just by creating out of thin air too. But Monero is not socially recognized. It's not used for things, but you can use it for illegal things, which is good. So those are the 6 qualities of money: scarcity, portability, divisibility, durability, fungibility, and acceptability. Those are the things. Bitcoin is superior in most ways. This is why I bought Bitcoin. Scarce, divisible, portable, acceptable, fungible, etc. All of those things. Durable, super durable. So that's what money should be. Monero is actually, I believe, the best. That's my current thinking, because it's private And every single one is the same. It's super divisible, super portable. You can carry it all. You can go across borders. You can do whatever. You can exchange it on a wallet. You can exchange it without ID. Okay, so those are the qualities of money. That's why I bought Bitcoin. I was into money. I told people to buy silver before I knew about cryptocurrency. Once I learned about cryptocurrency in 2017 and started buying it, I started telling people to buy cryptocurrency. Now I've sold all my cryptocurrency except for Monero. Okay, so that's where we're at. The reason I sold is because of 2025. Bitcoin, since Trump was elected, the cryptocurrency president has not gone anywhere, while every other asset on earth, besides maybe oil, pretty much every other asset on earth has gone up. Everything has gone up. And Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle. So last year, it was supposed to go up a lot. It went up to 126,000, which was okay, but it was nothing like previous cycles. And then it started to leak. So here, let's look at the one. This is the 1-year chart of Bitcoin. Over the last year, while people have been getting scared of, like, everybody's gone into something called the debasement trade. That's what everybody's on right now. Everybody's on the debasement trade, which is that currency always gets based over time. So you must own assets. While the greatest asset on earth, still theoretically, Bitcoin has done nothing. It's down over the last 12 months. And it's exactly the same place it was when Donald Trump got elected as the cryptocurrency president. So when I saw gold pumping and pumping and pumping, and Bitcoin starting to falter before the end of 2025 after not having pumped so much, I was concerned because it has a 4-year cycle. After 2025, if it followed the cycle, it usually crashes something like 60, 70, 80%. And I couldn't afford, based on my current situation, for it to go down even over the short term. So I sold at 107, I sold at 90, I sold at 85. And now it's lower than anything I sold it for. It went up more after I sold it every single time, but eventually went down further. The reason is because it's not behaving correctly. That's all. It's just not behaving the way it's supposed to. It's supposed to be a protection against debasement, and it's not. And I noticed it's supposed to be a safe haven asset like gold, and it's not. It behaves like a risk asset. It follows AI stocks. When stocks go down, it goes down. When gold goes up, it seemed to go down or go nowhere. And that's a problem. I imagined when I bought it that central banks would buy this thing, and they don't. They didn't. Instead, they're buying gold, which has been around for 6,000 years as money. So I started rotating into gold. That's all. I could tell you about Pax G, but cryptocurrency gold, actually. Bitcoin succeeded. Cryptocurrency succeeded. Everything is going to be tokenized. Everything will be on the blockchain, including real estate, probably copper, silver. You can already get gold on the blockchain now. Dollars are going to be are tokenized already. It's all already happened. Bitcoin, the technology succeeded completely. It works. It's perfect. It's a great way to track everything and make sure everything's proper. It's easy to transfer. It goes across borders. It's going to reduce fees. But people would rather have dollars. People would rather have digital dollars than Bitcoin if they want to protect themselves if they're in another country from their own currency crashing. So what is the thesis for Bitcoin anymore? I just don't know. This is the time that Bitcoin is supposed to do what it's designed to do. It was designed for these times. And we'll see. Maybe when they print money again, it'll really pump. Maybe when they print money again, it'll really pump. But I'm skeptical. I just don't know anymore. So I want a safe haven asset that'll protect me if the dollar collapses. and the dollar is probably going to collapse now. It probably will. Well, it definitely will eventually. And I want to have something that goes up in value versus something that's collapsing. And instead, Bitcoin isn't doing that. Let me show you this compared to Monero and why I started looking at Monero. Go back to cryptocurrencies. Why I started becoming interested in Monero is during 2025, when Bitcoin was having such a bad year, I noticed that Monero was, oh no, give me a break. Let's try again. I noticed that Monero was up the whole year. I think it was up at least 50% in 2025. So let's go back to, that's 5 years. Here's 1 year of the Monero chart. So instead of like Bitcoin went down, but I noticed that Monero was going up, which is what just like gold was. It went up pretty much as gold. I happened to buy some higher than it is now because it was starting to pump a lot because somebody stole a bunch of money and converted it to Monero. But Monero is real private money, which you can use for anything, including drugs, including whatever, and that'll be forever. And the government can't track it. It's real cash. It's like real cash, private money, where the government nobody knows what you spend it on. And it's accepted in black markets, which is what you need if things crash. Not everybody takes it, but criminals take it. And that's good. Because if it ever gets banned, that's not bad. They can ban it. They can ban it from exchanges. It'll still have value because illegal money is good. So I will probably buy more Monero. I have not much, but I noticed that it did what it was supposed to do. Institutions don't own it. There's no Ponzi schemes built on top of it. There's no financial engineering. There's no ETFs. There's no reason for, there's none of the selling, it's not treated like a risk asset. So I like it. And today it's up. Over today it's up. So this is the 1-day chart. It's not down. Everything else got crushed. And today it's doing well. One of the biggest reasons for you to be bullish on privacy coins in 2026 is there are new reporting requirements for central exchanges. And eventually the government is going to know all the transactions you make, probably, even on non-KYC exchanges. So people are starting to rotate out of surveillance coins. You could call Bitcoin a surveillance coin. Monero is not. It's cash. The government doesn't know about it. They can't. It's impossible. It's invisible. They can know your address. They can't tell how much you have. It's invisible and it's still scarce. It's still strictly scarce. There's only got to be 21 million Monero, just like Bitcoin. So I'm still bullish on Monero long term. I might buy more. I don't have that much. Okay. The other form of cryptocurrency, the only other form of cryptocurrency I have, which I've described a few times, is Pax G, which is on the Ethereum blockchain, which you can buy without KYC. And that means if it's hidden from the government, theoretically, you might not have to pay taxes on it, theoretically, although you're supposed to declare everything to the government. But just like silver that you buy that's real in cash, just like when you buy silver in cash and sell it for cash, you can buy Pax G, which is digital gold, literally digital gold. It tracks the price of gold. I'll show you. I'll show you the chart of it. Let's go to Pax G. I'll explain it to you. Pax G versus the dollar. So it's actually gone up a little bit. I sold some I wanted more cash in case everything crashes. Okay. Cash is good right now. Everything might crash Monday. It's possible, including more crash in silver and gold. I'm not sure. I still have enough gold, but I sold some. I did sell some today. But anyway, PaxG tracks the price of gold perfectly. It is literally, or here's the daily chart for it. It's going up a little bit. It went down a bunch yesterday, of course. But over a year, that's what it looks like. Track the price of gold. Obviously, it went down a bunch yesterday. It's coming back a little bit now, but it mostly trades when the real gold markets are open. Every single one of them is equivalent to 1 ounce of gold, which is audited, and you can audit yourself. You own a fraction of a large gold bar, which you can actually audit yourself if you get PaxG. So it's actually real in the sense that it's convertible to real gold. But the only thing is you'd have to have 430 ounces of it, which is a lot of money to actually get delivery of a physical gold bar. But it is convertible to real gold in actuality, which is better than an ETF, for example. And it seems to track the price extremely well. So, and you can audit it, and it's not as good as Bitcoin because you still have a third-party risk, settlement risk, like you don't own physical gold, but it seems to me like the next best thing, basically. And that's and so it's still it's on the Ethereum blockchain. It's infinitely divisible. It's divisible as much as Bitcoin, so you can buy $10 at a time. You can buy and sell for the same price without a spread like you have to do with physical. So it's superior to actual gold in a lot of ways because of that. Every time you buy actual gold, you have to pay a premium. Every time you sell it for a discount. You don't have to do that with PaxG. And it's, like I said, it's audited equivalent to physical gold, PaxG, PaxOSG, and it's regulated by the New York something or other. They're audited by a big auditing company. And like I said, you can actually go to their website, put in your Ethereum address, and it'll tell you the serial number of the bar of gold you own a part of. And you can buy $5 worth. You buy $10 worth, $20 worth. So if I was going to give financial advice, I would say to dollar cost average into something like PaxG, something like gold that's doing really well. I'm preparing for literally the end of the world. So I have cash too. And like I said, I sold gold today, even though it's probably going to go up if we go to war tomorrow, which my personal assistant told me we might. Because if we have what I think is coming, which is a credit crisis, then people will sell literally everything to cover their margin calls. And a bank failed on Friday. The first bank failed this year on Friday. Can't remember the name of it, but we already had a bank failure. I predict we'll have more. I'm also short. As far as like stocks, I have put options on regional banks right now because we're headed towards something like a credit, which could possibly turn into a credit crisis, which is like the end of the world. And then you want to have cash money. Then you want to have cash money because literally everything will crash, even gold. And we just saw the crash in silver. We just saw the crash in gold. We just saw the crash in cryptocurrency. We could see a crash in literally everything. And then we go into actual deflation and then cash is king. So yes, I know. I see your comment, Nuckfight. I actually did sell gold today. I just want more cash. That's all. I just want more cash in case the end of the world is actually really close. That's all. In case we really are about to have a credit event. And if we do, but if everybody gets margin calls, then they'll sell everything, especially their winners, and then silver and gold will go down even further. And then I'll buy some. I just in case. Then I'll buy some. I don't know. I just wanted to have more cash. I know it's probably going to pump, especially if we go to war. And also it just went down a lot. So I'm thinking about it, but I just wanted a little more cash in case the end of the world is literally around the corner, which it might be after these big moves. So, Gina, you sold most of yours and you paid off your house and all your debt and you feel a lot better. Yeah. I mean, if you sold at the top, I mean, and you own everything and you have no debt, that's not bad. That's not bad. You can't say it's bad. It might go up further, but it feels good. I sold my silver to pay debt when I sold all my silver last year. But I finally bought some more, of course, right before it crashed. And I want it. I still am happy I have it. But that's where we're at. Those are my thoughts. Monero. If you want cryptocurrency, buy Monero. It's behaving the way it's supposed to. And if you need it, actually, it's hard to buy, but you can buy it off the books using the Cake wallet. If you need cryptocurrency assistance, I do that for a fee. You can text me at 650-GAY-TAXI, 650-429-8294. I can tell you how to buy Monero like off the books. You can buy it on, I think you can still buy it on an exchange, which isn't bad. Which is it? Kraken. I think you can still buy Monero legally on Kraken, but it will be attached to your identity, but that doesn't matter that much. You can immediately move it off, and then nobody will know when you sell it or anything if you don't sell it on an exchange. So, but if you need help with cryptocurrency, you can ask AI, but actually it's a little complicated to buy Monero in a decentralized way, but you can do it with a Cake wallet, basically. Russ Cole says, I thought I bought silver. No, I've been buying silver for like 10 years. I sold it all last year when I went crazy, maxed out a few credit cards and had to pay my debt in a desperate situation. And I just bought some, but I was buying SLV and I just bought some physical, literally the very, very top, literally the top. And I felt terrible yesterday, but I don't feel bad today because actually physical silver is still selling. I went to the website. I bought it for 120 for Silver Eagles, and Silver Eagles are still selling for $100 or more. And they're sold out of most of them. I mean, here's the JM Bullion website. Even though silver went down so much on paper. Oh, you said 2 days ago. No, I'm not selling it. I'm not selling my silver. No way. I'm not selling that probably forever. I mean, I'll probably literally have it until I'm dead. So it doesn't matter that the price crashed to some extent. It's just that I wish I would have bought more. That's all. I would have bought more silver for the money. But here's what it's selling for now. It's still selling for $100 or 105, and they're out of stock of like all this is out of stock. This whole page. They only have like 5 different things you can buy of Silver Eagles. So actually, it's not that bad. And if the price suddenly pumps and we go to war, then it might go right back up. It might go right back up. So silver theoretically is $86, but if you actually want to buy a Silver Eagle right now, it's online and it's $100. So what happens with physical is when the price goes down, the premiums go up. So I didn't lose anything, Rust. Somebody told me that. Sorry for my loss. I didn't lose anything. I'm not selling it. I mean, I lost something because I sold low last year. I mean, relatively low. It's still already pumped, but because I sold and I bought the top. But that's all right. I didn't lose anything. I'm not selling it. It's going to be worth more than I paid for it eventually, for 100% certainty. So I didn't lose anything. I just could have bought more silver with the cash I laid out, like significantly more. So it was terrible, but I bought it for insurance. So I bought it for insurance in case the dollar crashes really fast. Either thing could happen. We could have a credit crisis and silver and gold crash again, or we can have the dollar collapse and people start buying silver. They're still paying $136 an ounce in China. That's what they say. So the price hasn't even gone down overseas. It's only in America right now, or it's only the rest of the world right now. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But at least I have my silver now. So I'm happy. And I have cash for if everything crashes. And I have gold. So I'm prepared. And I shorted the banks in case the banks crash. So I basically have insurance for the end of the world. That's where I'm at. That's my description of things. Okay. You decide what to do. I can't give you financial advice. I just described my thought process. I think Bitcoin is going to go a lot lower. It may be to zero, actually. I mean, it's possible people just will stop caring about Bitcoin 100%. It's possible. It's possible. It's great. It's perfect, but people aren't acting like it. And all that matters is what people think, because it's not real. In the end, it's just not real. So I think Michael Saylor, like I said, is going to go out of business and it's going to drop to something really low, like could be 15,000 before. It's going to be worse than the FTX crash if Michael Saylor gets liquidated. But Monero is going to be okay, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know, but I think it's going to go way, way, way lower before it gets better. That's my opinion, though. I don't know. And I might buy some again. Actually, I do buy some with Cash App. When I round up, it does roundups. So when I pay for something, it buys a little Bitcoin. So I am still buying it, actually. But all right, cool. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. That's my story. Take it for what you will. You should be, if you want insurance against the end of the world, buy some silver, buy some gold, buy some Monero if you feel like it. Have some cash. Have some cash. Just if you have investments and stuff like that. 401k, you might want to cash out some. Can't give financial advice. But if you got rich on stocks, think about taking some profits. That's all. Because we haven't seen the crash in stocks yet. And I think it's coming for sure. So most likely. I mean, there's got to be some kind of correction in the stock market too. Could happen Monday, for real. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good seeing you for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. There's no football on. I might come live tomorrow. And I can tell you more about my assistant, but he keeps hitting rate limits. I'm just getting notes from him that he's hitting rate limits. It's just too expensive to run these things. So I'll tell you more about that if you want. But all right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one. For now, that's what it is.